Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Solomon of NPOWER, Maryland, and I currently serve as the Alumni Engagement Specialist. Well, we're starting a new series today, and it is called Women in Tech. And today I have the opportunity to interview Ms. Obioma Richardson, IT professional.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Happy to be here virtually to speak with you and excited about the new series that NPOWER is providing to its audience.
Great. So I'm excited. So I want to jump right into things. And I wanted to know if you could just give us a background and tell us about yourself and how you got started in tech.
Sure. I became an IT professional ago, and it was really haphazard for me. I was working at Planned Parenthood of New York City, and very quickly I was promoted, and that is when my AVP at the time said, "Okay, you'll be handling the telecommunications system." And it was then and there where I became this woman in this male-dominated industry,
Mm.
a young woman, and I fell in love with the challenge. I fell in love with the fact that I had to program, I had to be able to think on my feet, be logical, and in this system, and really managing what how people communicated across the Planned Parenthood of New York City company, and that just all started what I do, and I never looked back. So
Really?
that's how I started. I wanted to be a lawyer.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And life happens, and here I am. I've been here. I've had a great career where I've been in telecommunications as a program analyst, and it's really detailed in programming systems and internal systems. And then I moved on to server applications and having to understand integrations and working with different teams, and now back and telecom you where I'm doing circuit design, and it's not easy. It's challenging, but I think that's what gets me every time. Technology changes, technology is challenging, but I'm up for it all the time, and I'm always learning something new. So yeah, that's how I got started in my career.
It sounds so good. And it's very important that I think that you didn't always want to join tech. Like that wasn't your first option. You know, a lot of people set their dreams and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then life takes its course and it's like, yeah, I'm not feeling this anymore. But learning more about tech myself, I learned that technology is always going to be around. And so since I started
Right.
doing this, I'm like, maybe I should take an IT course or something. Maybe I should challenge myself a little bit. So I think that's really encouraging. And that not only speaks to me, but it speaks to other people as well.
Thank you.
You said that tech was a male, when you started, it was a male dominated field. Do you still feel that tech is a male dominated field, or how has your experience changed over the years?
Yes, it's very male dominated till this day. I think what happens is you find pockets
Mhm.
of the IT and slash tech slash telecom industry where there are women, but it's always a one off. It's one woman here in this department and then one woman here in that department. It's rare that you find a team where there might be three or more women. So it's very much a male dominated industry still. I think that in 2021, uh, there are more exposures to the industry, and with people like me, and being a black woman, and I'm going to say Black Latina woman because my mother is Puerto Rican.
Mhm.
So it's, you know, we're saying we are here, and don't be afraid. just take the step, take the challenge. You don't have to, you know, do what society says, right? If society says a woman's job is an admin assistant or a nurse or, you know, these norms that people have been used to, the tech industry is open and it's there, and there are opportunities for you to grow, and you don't have to stay. You
Hmm.
can be a tech in marketing. You can be a, you know, tech in the hospital industry.
Hmm.
You can do anything when it comes to technology. It's a very open and has a wide range of opportunity. So we need more women.
Women in tech. And
I wanna lead a team of women.
women, yes, just everyone just come together, do tech, and take over the world, honestly.
Yes.
This is so great. I have so many more questions. I don't know what to ask next. Um, could you explain what you currently do now, and if you could change anything in the workplace, or how your experience has been with tech, being a Black woman and being a woman of color, like what would you change, or what advice would you give, and how would you adapt? And, like what are the challenges and the obstacles that you face in the workplace?
Uh, so what I do now, I've been very blessed to land a position where it's my the team I'm on. It's being led by two women of color.
Great.
So that's the most amazing thing. So I am with Bloomberg Network Communication, so telecom.
Bloomberg. This is so off topic, but I was a former Bloomberg intern at Philanthropies. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful place to be. So you know, I manage the circuit delivery to customers.
Nice.
Uh, so right now, it's so great to be there because they believe in diversity.
Yes, they do.
Uh, they are. It's a culture where they are inclusive, and you know what? If it's not, speak up, because then there's something we need to change. But in my previous
Mhm.
places, it was a challenge. You know, it was a challenge because yes, I was the only woman of color on the team, and I think the challenge was just dealing with some people who were used to a certain culture.
Okay.
So uh, it was almost I had to adapt to their culture, but in the meantime, you know, things were said in my presence that really bothered me, and so it's not like, how do I maintain my professionalism? How do I be this bad, dope woman who knows that, you know, she's great at what she does without letting, you know, the unfortunates of what happens a lot, you know, in
Change
workplaces
the
to
environment
people.
and the
and
dynamic.
and and that was the challenge. But you know, i I look at myself and I say I'll come up off on top because this is how I'm going to do it. So what I did is I use my culture and my upbringing and my personality of who I am as a woman of color to get me to the next level. If I had a big project, I know I have a great personality. So I get to know people, we talk, and I get things done. I always got things done, no matter what someone would say or if how they felt about me as a woman of color, or you know, me being this person, oh, you have an MBA, you think you know everything. That's never the case. But I think what women of color especially, we are put in this silo, right, where it says you have to be a certain way because you don't want to be too ethnic, you don't
Mhm.
want to be too this, you don't want to be aggressive, and then we start to almost take abuse. And I just learned that no, I'm going to stand up for myself in a very diplomatic way, but always show and prove who I am. And what that did was help me along in my career and land me in an amazing place. So there was a there was a rainbow at the end of the day, right? There was a reward for me at the end of the day for all the hardships I went through. And don't get me wrong, as we are in this new year and we've seen things, being transparent is key. And there were many times where I cried,
Of course.
and but never let it defeat me. Never let it defeat me. So now look at me. I'm here,
Right.
and I'm like I said. It's always a challenge. I'm always learning, and I'm finally part of something great. I'm finally part of a team that is inclusive, led by women of color.
Hmm.
It's so great to see. It's so great to see.
I think it's very important to make sure you sadly experience things that make you better, things that make you uncomfortable, that things that you have to stick up for yourself and you have to put your foot down. And eventually, with time, you will get the position that you want. You will get to the place that you want. And I think it's important for young women to know because I went to an all girls school, so I'm all about women empowerment and things like that. And it's important to know that you aren't the only person going through these struggles. You aren't
Absolutely.
the only person that's facing discrimination in the workplace. You aren't the only person who can't figure things out. So you go home, you cry a little, or you need a little more self care than usual, or you pick up a new habit and that's what's getting you out of your situation and it's working for you. And so it's very important to know that no matter what age you're at, whether you're early in your career,
That's right.
or you're in the middle of your career, or you think you're at the end of your career and then a new career is beginning for you. Like anything can change. So always stay open and have a support system. So from what I hear, I think you support yourself a lot. Do you have a support system?
I have a tribe
Good.
of amazing,
Good, good.
amazing people there. I have a tribe. So we talk in this network world a lot about mentors and sponsors.
Mhm.
So it's very important that we understand, and as you move up and along in whatever you decide to do in life, you have to have that. You have to have your sponsors, you have to have your mentors, you have to have a tribe. I've had sponsors, but then what's the relationship? What's the follow up? It is up to the individual to make sure that they curate those relationships. So it was my responsibility to make sure that I maintained those relationships. I kept in touch with people. And then you have your sponsors. So in one of the positions that I previously had, before I came um, to the company I'm now, is, I had a great sponsor, and I applied for positions. I applied, and finally I got this position. And basically, he made it happen. He was
Good.
like, he spoke on my behalf. She is great for this position. And yes, your name carries weight. What you do carries weight. My tribe, they tell you the truth. They support you in your good, bad, and ugly endeavors throughout your career, throughout life. And these are people that hold you accountable. So I couldn't be here if I didn't have that full support. And yes, I'm strong-willed and I can be tough, but we all need accountability. We all need those check-ins to say, "Hey, you said you were going back for your master's degree. Where are you in your studies? Are you slipping?" And now it's up to the individual to snap into that focus and say, "This is what I asked for. This is the support I need." You can't get mad at people.
Yeah.
So I definitely wouldn't be here without my tribe, without my mentors, without my sponsors. It's Yeah, yeah. You can't do it alone.
Of
Absolutely, you cannot do it alone.
course. Oh my goodness, this is so great. I feel like this interview is for me. Like I was meant to
Oh.
hear everything. Um, if you have any advice for not only young women in tech, but young men, um, minorities, or anyone,
Yes.
what would you say to wrap everything up in a nutshell?
I would say don't be afraid. Take the risk. What's for you is for you. Don't limit yourself. If you see a job description for an analyst or a tech or a hardware analyst or a service, go for the position. If you don't get it, rejection is not a result of your failure. Rejection is to make you better and to say, hey, I didn't get it this time. Maybe I need to do this. So do not limit yourself because the sky is the limit.
That was great. I think that's the perfect way to end this interview. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.